This engine exceeds all expectations. You wouldn't believe what it does. I grew up in the Snowy Mountains and I was catching trout from a very, very young age, and I've been really fortunate that, you know, my whole life is fishing. I work in the fishing industry. I drive around the ocean and drive up rivers and that sort of stuff. I'm really lucky that because of my job, I have to have multiple boats. That's what I tell everyone anyway. I've got a 675 Haynes Hunter, and it's got this 300 V8 Mercury on it, which has just been nothing short of incredible. It originally had the 300 Verado on it, and we've been able to do a true comparison with engines because we took the 300 Verado off and we put the new 300 V8 on. And I'm really happy to say that it is an absolutely crazy piece of gear. The specs on this thing are nothing short of world beating. This engine exceeds all expectations. You wouldn't believe what it does, but you know, you come down to weight first of all. It's extremely light compared to the old Verado. Power, this thing is an absolute net cracker. It has so much power, so much torque, and most of all for me, one of the absolute key factors is definitely fuel efficiency. This thing's running at 15% better than the old motor. At the end of the day, it's got power, performance, fuel saving. It means you can fish longer, go further and save money. When you combine that with what's going up on the vessel view on the dash, this makes it the perfect combo for my boat. One of the features I really like up here on the vessel view is the cruise control. It's pretty simple. You go into this vessel control panel here. As you're cruising along and you hit the back of a wave, it will keep the boat at that set speed. So it means you're not on the throttle so much, which saves you a lot in fuel. This will make the motor adjust the revs accordingly to keep that set speed every time. A really neat feature is a thing called adaptive speed control. Now normally when you're driving along in your boat and you make a turn, it puts a lot of load on the prop and the gearbox. You'll drop your revs, you'll drop your speed, and you'll use more fuel. With this adaptive speed control, right now we're doing 2,700 RPM. As I make this turn, I don't have to touch the throttle, which normally you would put the power on a bit more to maintain those revs. I'm making this turn and we're still at sort of 2,700 RPM. So we're maintaining speed, we're maintaining RPM. ARO, or Advanced Range Optimization, is something you're going to absolutely love with your Mercury engine. When we get the boat up to a set speed, after 30 seconds it will actually drop the fuel flow down, as the engine only requires that amount of fuel. That means we can go further for less fuel burn, which means bigger distances and more fish. It's an interesting little journey for me that my first boat, I had a 12-foot punt washed up out of a river. We put a 4 horsepower Mariner engine on it. In my early 20s, I had another tinny. We had a Mariner and then a Mercury on that. And in between, I've stepped away and gone to other engines, but every time I just find myself coming back to the Mercuries, and here I am now running 2 Mercuries, and I wouldn't be anywhere else.